What up? Welcome back to another edition of Conspiracy Theories. So, yesterday, I didn't get what I wanted to talk to done. So, today, we're going to get into it. Um, Today, I want to talk about the Ohio train wreck here a little bit. And some of the other stuff that's been going on. Frankly, it's been kind of weird these past couple of months. For those that hasn't been following the news or anything like that, oh, sorry, excuse me. Ah, sorry about that. So, anywho, what I was saying is that there's a lot going on. We have the train crash derailment in Ohio, another one in Texas, I believe another one in North Carolina, and then to top it all off, we have supposedly UFO stuff being shut down. So, as far as conspiracies go, it's kind of why we're here, isn't it? Talk about these conspiracies. Oh, yes, that's why we're here. So, without further ado, let's start out with the Ohio train topic here and touch base with it. So here we go. Baseless planned conspiracy theories. So, how do you know when you have a conspiracy theory? When they say baseless, that means you have nothing, right? So, let's read this real quick. After a train derailment, February 2023 sparked a massive fire and release of toxic chemicals in a small Ohio village. Some social media users are claiming the disaster was an intentional act, with a number of them citing a fictional Netflix film about a train crash in the U.S. state. This is false. The National Transportation Safety Board, which has pointed to an overheated wheel bearing as a likely culprit for the incident, told the AFP there are no indications of sabotage or foul play. We can argue that. How about how you found bomb material close by there? Interesting enough, a pipe bomb material close to the crash site, not very far away, actually. Interesting. Very interesting. Man. So give me a sec here. So, with that being said, sorry guys, that's a little better. I'm turn the light on here. So now, I love the term baseless. All right, now let's get into so yeah, this one here was a what? So yeah, there we go. They tried to cover up this one because I just had to find it through the red state, believe it or not. I don't even know what that is. So we reported earlier on a train derailment that took place in East Palestine, Ohio, 10 days ago on February 3rd because there were chemicals on board the cars and they were concerned about potential explosion. They had what they said was a controlled release of chemicals to reduce that risk after evacuating residents within a 1 mile area. But now many people are concerned about the effects of the release despite the assurance as to the quality of the air. Animals in the area are dying and it's understandably making people upset. Reporter who was covering the story and asking questions also was arrested, which is not making people happy. So here's a question, okay? If this was a baseless conspiracy theory, why are people being arrested for asking questions? There's your First Amendment right, and it's being violated. Yeah, right there. That's a reporter. Who would have thought? All right. More information came out about the chemicals on the train derailed in East Palestine, Ohio. A hazmat specialist said we basically nuked a town with chemicals so we could get a railroad open. This is what I was telling y'all yesterday in a quote. So you pretty much nuke a town to get a railroad open. Okay. Now on Monday, two more train derailments are raising questions. One in Montgomery, Texas, as well as another one in Inouye, South Carolina. And the derailment in Montgomery, which is north of Houston, happened this morning around 7:30 a.m. and was caused by hitting a truck on the tracks. The truck driver was killed. Okay, so that does happen. 21 cars derailed in the crash. So far, there doesn't appear to be any hazardous spill. The train included some hazardous material, so Union Pacific is monitoring the air quality out the side of the crash, according to the Splendora Police Department. So the second one. So there was also a second derailment on Monday afternoon in Inouye, South Carolina. CSX Transportation is on scene, and it looks like flood tankers from the pictures, but there's not a lot of information yet. It's not clear what caused the derailment. You can see here in the video. And these are developing stories. So yeah, it kind of makes you wonder a little bit where all this is going. Could be going nowhere. Oh, excuse me. Oh, no, this one's interesting. Okay, that. Aha. All right. So this is the one I was just talking about, and I will be more than happy to play this for you all to show you the baseless conspiracy theory. Remember, guys, they're baseless, which means they don't hold water, correct? We shall see if, in fact, they hold water. All right. 3 seconds. That's the stupid commercial. All right. I guess I'm not showing this one. It's only a 15-second video. So it's kind of worthless to me to even try and do that one. No, guys, sorry, the ghost is not joining me. He's too busy snoring up a wall, so that is not happening tonight. So you're stuck with good old Insidious. You're stuck with good old Insidious. So, that being said, let's see. As far as other stuff goes here. So I don't know if any of you guys remember the Watergate scandal with Richard Nixon, but I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I'm actually going to get a chance to do it today. I think that's the one I'm going to get on right now, actually. So let me get into that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share screen this so you guys can kind of read along with me or read ahead, whatever you want to do. Sound good? So the Watergate scandal was a major political scandal in the United States involving the administration of President Richard Nixon from 72 to 74. That led to Nixon's resignation. Scandal stemmed from the Nixon administration continual attempts to cover up its involvement. June 17, 1972, break-in of the Democratic National Committee headquarters at the Washington, D.C. Watergate office building. After the 5 perpetrators were arrested, the press and the Justice Department connected the cash found on them at the time to the Committee for the Election of the President. Further investigation, along with revelations during the subsequent trials of the burglars, led the House of Representatives to grant the U.S. House Judge Committee additional investigation authority to probe into certain matters within its jurisdiction, and led the Senate to create the U.S. Senate Watergate Committee, which held hearings. Witnesses testified that Nixon had approved plans to cover up his administration involvement in the break-in, and that there was a voice-activated taping system in the Oval Office. Throughout the investigation, Nixon's administration resisted its probes. This led to a constitutional crisis. The Senate Watergate hearings were broadcasted gavel to gavel nationwide by PBS and aroused public interest. Several major revelations and egregious presidential actions, obstructing the investigation later in 1973, prompt the House to commence an impeachment process again against Nixon. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Nixon had to release the Oval Office tapes to government investigation. The Nixon White House tapes revealed that he had conspired to cover up activities that took place after the break-in and had later tried to use federal officials to deflect attention from the investigation. The House Judiciary Committee approved the 3 articles of impeachment against Nixon for obstruction of justice, abuse of power, and contempt of Congress. With his complicity in the cover-up made public and his political support completely eroded, Nixon resigned from office on August 9, 1974. It is generally believed that he had not done so. He would have been impeached by the House, and removed office by a trial in the Senate. He is the only U.S. president to have resigned from office. On September 8, 1974, his successor, Gerald Ford, pardoned him. So, my question is, hearing this, okay, you have Gerald Ford that's in there, right? Who pardoned him. So, what did they find is what I want to know. What was there that they found in the Democratic committee that they needed proof? But, and the other part I'm trying to also want to know is, how did they know that the money came from his people? It says, well, they found out that some of the money belonged to his campaign or whatever it was called back then. How do they know that? And how do we know that those tapes they were holding even said anything and just made him believe that so he would resign under a pretty much a Hail Mary? Everyone knows Democrats are sleazy. They probably stole the money off his people and gave it to them. Anywho. Um, so where does that was pardon him? There were 69 people indicted. Oh, indicted and 48 people. Many of them top Nixon administrative officials convicted. The Watergate came to encompass an array of clandestine and often illegal activities undertaken by members of the Nixon administration, including bugging the offices of political opponents, people of whom Nixon or his officials were suspicious, ordering investigations of activist groups and political figures, using the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Central Intelligence Agency, the IRS as political weapons. They used the suffix "gay" after identifying that term has silence become synonymous with public scandal, especially political scandal. Okay, so what are we doing today, Democrats? What are we doing today? You have used the FBI to go after Trump. You've used the CIA to go after Trump. And now you have used the FBI, not the FBI, blah. You have used, the IRS to come after Americans for more money. So, how did the Watergate scandal change anything? It showed them how to fight better. That's about it. Well, like they say, the history must repeat itself. It's doing a good freaking job. All right. So on January 27th, 1972, G. Gordon Liddy, finance consul for the committee for the re-election of president, well, quit. Out of there. Former aide to John something or other presented a campaign intelligence plan to CRP's acting chairman, Jeb, once again something, Attorney General John Mitchell, Presidential Counsel John Dean, that involved extensive illegal activities against the Democratic Party. According to Dean, this marked the opening scene of the worst political scandal or of the 29th century and the beginning of the end of the Nixon presidency. So apparently these people are no longer here, or else we would see the biggest one yet, which is the one that's going on today. So it's kind of funny. Politics is always funny to me. It's funny how even back then they were trying to say they were hitting us. It was against the Republicans or against the Democrats. Well, now it's the other way around. It's the Democrats against the Republicans and the Democrats are fighting dirty pretty damn hard. So I can agree with it. You know, you have good ones and bad ones, and you always do. Problem is the left has gone too far into money, power, and greed that all they want is power. They just want, once you get a taste of that power, you want to stay in power, and you will keep anybody there as long as you can, including blackmail, extortion. Bet you they'd even kidnap a motherfucker if they could, if they thought they could get by with it. Fear, that's another one. They like to have you citizens fear them. Well, newsflash, it's hard to fear someone that won't even step outside to have a conversation with an American citizen. So, yeah, I'm shaking in my boots. Let's see here. Mitchell viewed the plan as unrealistic. 2 months later, Mitchell approved a reduced version of the plan, including burglarizing the Democratic National Committee headquarters at the Watergate complex in Washington, D.C., to photograph campaign documents, install listening devices, and telephones. Liddy was not only in charge of the operation, but has since insisted he was the duped by both Dean and at least two other whatever, which included former CIA officers Howard Hunt, James McCord, the latter of whom was serving as the CRP security coordinator after John Mitchell had by then resigned as Attorney General to become the CRP chairman. So, yeah, I don't know. That is a little weird one to me, personally. Watergate it's an interesting conversation, and it's a great conspiracy starter because you don't know what they found in that building. There is nowhere in here it says what they found. It says they found listening devices. Okay, well, did you listen to them? Probably not, because it was completely one-sided. It was to get Nixon out, and it worked. That was the biggest thing. Nixon had to go. It's kind of like the same way with Trump. They tried everything in their power, including cheating. The cheating worked, but may I add, cheating worked. I mean, that's what they do. They lie, cheat, and steal. No fun on using Eddie Guerrero here. There was no fun in that. But it's a true statement regardless. Now I said Watergate's a little funny, but we will get in here. Wow. So there's a walkie-talkie. We got a transistor radio used in Watergate. That is a big ass transistor. You're telling me you can't hear that? Wow. Just wow. Oh, now the Republicans kidnapped Martha Mitchell. Wow, okay. I'm off of that rocker. Yeah, that's too deep for me. Way too deep for me. So, does any of you guys have a conspiracy you want me to look up right now? Because I would be more than happy to do that. I got a little bit of time left. So, if you're interested in me looking up a conspiracy, let me know. We can do aliens, pyramids. Oh, wait, I did the aliens and pyramids. I'm trying to think of one. Offhand, we can talk about. And no, I'm not singing on here. But I would give you a glimpse that I have pre-recorded ones, but I'm not going to do that neither. I'll tell you what. This is what I'm going to do. If I can get 50 subs, affiliate, if I can get up to 50 affiliates to affiliate my Twitch account, I will sing one song of my choosing, of course, because I know my voice. I will do one song of my choosing. Even if it does sound like shit. And I will do it live right here on Twitch. But that's only if I can get affiliate. And I will see if I can get affiliate by March 20th. I will do it. I would see if the chief wants to join, but he's sleeping. I know the ghost is. So, is there anybody that wants to? Let's see if I have any new updates that I can go off of. It's got to be something I can do right now. Patriot paranoia. Hmm. Never mind. You don't want to know that one. That one's kind of boring. Oh wow. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, that one I remember. Um, the government wants to beam secret messages into your brain, which, if you have a closed mind, is very possible. It can easily be done. It's almost like a hypnosis. But if your mind is open and you can see through a lot of bullshit, like me, for an example, I have a very open mind. I can see through almost anything that is BS or non BS for that matter. So let's see what other ones are in here. Um, Free healthcare is a trick to let the government poison you. I'm beginning to wonder about that actually, though. The COVID pandemic and shots. The more I read, the more stuff comes out. Medical conditions, underlying conditions. Um, just the Jensen alone. I took the shot, okay, and if I would have known the symptoms that like I do now of what that thing can do, like at the time we didn't know what it could do. I mean, the vaccine was relatively new. Um, Johnson and Johnson, and then you had whatever the other one was. But the what I have read so far out of the Jensen, which is the Johnson Johnson vaccine, is it can cause damn strokes in your brain or heart for that matter. And I didn't put two and two together until I started noticing people at my work were getting strokes. We had three within, I'd probably say, 4 weeks apart. So maybe a month and 5 days apart from each other. So I decided to do the research. So when I actually Googled side effects of the Jensen Johnson Johnson vaccine, I found out that it can cause strokes. And I was like, well, that's interesting. And so that could be a reason why everybody's getting them. And ain't that the fact that it could cause this, fact that it is causing them. So the next one on my list here. Oh boy, that was it. Who knew? So all right, let's see here. Huh. I didn't hear anything about that. No, I didn't hear anything about this. So an orb, they found an orb in Mexico City back in 2022, and they said it could be alien from an alien spaceship or something. Said more evidence is being conducted, but nothing they can find yet. Of course not. That's how it always works. All right, guys, I'm not going to take up too much of your time tonight. That's really all I wanted to touch base on. If you guys would like to hit me up, you can reach me out in, yeah, on YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram, TikTok. I'm on there also. Facebook as well. Yeah, Facebook and Citius_streaming at my own page. So if you have something you want to add or want to buy merch, you can also go over to Insidious_streaming and go into either website and you can buy merch that I have on there. Anyways, have a good rest of your day, guys. Take care and hope you have a good rest of your week. I just want to touch base on some of that stuff, but that's all I got for today. So good night, guys.